Boston BioLife is pleased to announce our summer education series. This is a combination of our cutting-edge, state-of-the-art webinars coupled with our social media posts on peer-reviewed research that supports important basic topics from the world of functional, regenerative medicine, and translational medicine. Our webinars feature topics from our corporate partners, include information such as practice coaching, business resources, surgical imaging, and more. In addition to our webinars and peer-reviewed research articles, we are releasing new topics from our educational mini-series program. These are scientifically oriented clinical concepts focused on important topics in personalized precision health. Our first mini course is July 30th and explores the biochemistry of vascular health. This program will dive deep into the biochemistry of gas exchange, arterial wall integrity, the glycocalyx, and other exciting information and newly discovered phenomena. This will be followed up by other topics including immunology, gut health, neurological concepts such as traumatic brain injury, testing, functional mitochondrial biology, MSK medical imaging, and orthobiologics. All of this summer content culminates in our next live event, which will be in San Diego, September 24th, 25th, and 26th. Hello and welcome to another Boston BioLife webinar. My name is Joseph Krieger, and today we have the pleasure of speaking with David Orlando and Gabriella Orlando and Dr. Thomas Lowe on ImagePro's ScanRay C-arm system and other accessories. They have a complete product lines focusing on modern, innovative imaging techniques. And Dave, thank you so much for being with Boston BioLife today. We look forward to learning all about ScanRay and ImagePros.
Thank you, Joe, for having us. It's been a great partnership with Boston BioLife. Boston BioLife is a first-class organization. What I really like about your group, Joe, is you guys bring in the top experts in the industry. You know, and sometimes what I noticed from the last conference, not every expert has the same opinion, and you allow the doctors to make their own educated decision based on the facts and the experts in the industry. You guys take a very non-biased approach, something I really like about your group. You guys put on a top-notch conference, very well put together, again, with the top experts in the industry. Appreciate you inviting us here today and being part of the webinar. My name is Dave Orlando. I am the CEO of a company called ImagePros. I am also the CEO of a company called ScanRay Americas. They're a multi-billion-dollar company, 750 employees. 5X OEC engineers developed the ScanC. They want to make something better with better technology, and I believe they have done that with the ScanC. They do a lot of the R&D in Bologna, Italy, but the manufacturer support by ScanRay is amazing. I do want to introduce Gabriella Orlando. Gabby, if you can introduce yourself.
My name is Gabriella Orlando. I'm the territory manager here at ImagePros. It was a pleasure working with you at the Boston BioLife Conference in Dallas. We did have a chance to showcase our ScanC as well as the SmartC and had nothing but great feedback from the doctors, which I'm super excited to get into a little bit later here.
Thanks, Gabriella. I want to introduce Dr. Tom Loeb. I met Dr. Loeb at the Boston BioLife Conference in Dallas a couple months ago. Dr. Loeb had a chance to participate in the lab where we did have the ScanC. The trainer, Dr. Loeb, a lot of the doctors love the image quality and the ease of use, and especially the low radiation from the ScanC. Dr. Loeb actually ended up buying one. Dr. Loeb, I'd like you to introduce yourself and tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Thanks so much, Dave and Joe. I appreciate the opportunity. I was actually invited to be a speaker in Dallas recently, and that was my primary goal, and I really enjoyed seeing all of the exhibitors. And I walked by this booth for ImagePros, and I kind of saw Dave and some of his people, and eventually I said, well, tell me about this device. How is it better from what I already have? And he told me issues about lower radiation, smaller footprint, easy to use interface. And I said, well, I'd like to see it. And actually, I wasn't part of the original workshop, but I asked Dave to take me down in between sessions and show me the device. And I was immediately impressed with the small footprint compared to what I was using. I was uber impressed with the image quality. I liked the interface because it's basically just like operating a PC or computer. If you can operate a PC, you can operate the device, and it looked very simple. And I said, well, what would it take to get me one? I already have a machine. What I did like about what I had was the very expensive service contract that I was paying per month. And so David, I talked a little bit. He said, well, we could probably get you in this. And then, we have a 5-year service warranty included with the purchase of the price. I said, you're kidding me. I mean, that was absolutely amazing. So I said, well, I'm interested. I think the conference was over a weekend. Monday, Dave said, well, here's a proposal. Are you interested? I said, yes. I think it took me, I asked a couple technical questions. What kind of power did it require? I already had what he needed in my office. It was fairly straightforward and simple. So after a couple of quick discussions, I went ahead and signed the contract, and I figured, okay, I'm going to see this device in who knows when. And I think it was 2 days after I signed the contract, his team appeared in my office. They took out my old machine. They installed a new one. Took a couple hours to kind of get it all set up. They taught me how to use it. And I found his staff prompt. I found them smart, intelligent, efficient. They showed me in detail how to use it, answered all my questions. I've never been so impressed with the speed and efficiency and professionalism of a device purchase in my entire career. And I've got to tell you, yes, I'm chief medical officer for Aiken Biosciences, but I am a practitioner, and I have a busy practice. I do a lot of pain management, a lot of joint injections, head, neck, back, various joints. And so my whole livelihood depends on the quality of imaging. And I will say, once it was set up, I've had an opportunity to use it on some patients, and it's the easiest machine I've ever used. The image quality is amazing. I love the fact, and the patients like the fact, that there's less radiation involved. The images are easy to store, capture, move around. I mean, the machine is it's a beautiful piece of hardware, a beautiful piece of software. I love the fact that I decided to lease the machine because my lease price was basically the same price as my service contract with my old machine. So it wasn't going to cost me anymore. So I've got a brand new machine that's better in every way, with essentially no difference in the monthly cost for me. And included in that is a 5-year warranty. And the process is very simple. In my office, I have access to an Ethernet, so I can connect the machine directly to the Ethernet and have it serviced from afar and checked out. I really am very impressed with everything about the Image Pros, everything about the ScanC, everything about the people involved, and everything about the professional installation, and the entire ordeal was painless and seamless.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Loeb. That was a very thorough overview. I had a lot of questions, but honestly, you answered every one of them. The biggest thing that was kind of neat with your situation is you had an older system, and you were paying, I believe, somewhere around $950 a month. And by the time we gave you the trade-in for the system, you ended up getting a brand new system, state-of-the-art technology, as you mentioned, lowest radiation, good image quality, and you were paying about the same price on a lease. So it was such a good fit, and I'm so happy it worked out. And I'm so happy to hear how happy you are with the product and the experience with Image Pros. That's super, super important to us. We built our company on relationships like we have with you, and that's how we continue to grow. So I really thank you for your time today. I know you got a super busy schedule and need to get back to practice, but I really thank you for joining us today, Dr. Loeb. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's really delightful to work with your entire team, Dave, and Joe, the whole BioLife team. Everybody in the whole organization is great from top to bottom. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Loeb. Thanks for joining us today. I want to tell everybody a little bit about Image Pros, the company, and myself. We are regenerative medicine and pain management experts. We do provide turnkey solutions on everything that we sell. We don't just sell products and leave it up to the customer to figure everything else out. We have over 50 years of combined experience. We have the largest C-arm and table stock in the nation ready to ship. Why that's important, if you know just about any industry, there's a shortage on raw materials, whether it be chips for the trucks or products or steel or plastic. There's a huge shortage right now, and trying to get products for just about anything, there's many delays. And I know a lot of the CRM companies in the industry are experiencing that. Some of the products, even OEC, they manufacture products from China, which a lot of people don't know. But a lot of people I know they're waiting months and months for C-arms with no end in sight. And Image Pros, what I wanted to do is I wanted to be the company with the inventory in stock, ready to ship. We have 50 plus C-arms in stock, ready to go, new and refurbished. We have the largest inventory of tables. Again, these tables, even Oakwork supplier, they're built to order. They take 3 weeks to order, but now they're experiencing the shortage of raw materials, and there's huge delays. And I placed very big orders for Oakworks. I'm one of the only companies. I actually got this information from them yesterday. I'm one of the only companies that puts in very large orders of tables and stocks them in house. That way, if a customer is ready to go, they want to set up their practice right away. Image Pros has everything in stock, ready to go. We have our own company trucks. Like Dr. Loeb mentioned, we don't use logistics companies because that's when a lot of problems happen. We load them up in our company trucks. We deliver them to the site. We bring it in, set it up. We do applications training. That eliminates a lot of problems with logistics companies. They don't know how to handle the equipment. They'll bring it to another terminal. Then they'll have somebody else load it up. And 9 times out of 10, maybe not that high, the equipment shows up and it's damaged. And typically, doctors have patients set up that day, so they need the equipment to be performing. And we hand deliver everything with a personal touch and make sure everything goes smooth. I've been in this industry personally for well over 20 years, and I've learned, how to perfect the process. We do guide you through the process from start to finish with letting, state regulations, room design, state-of-the-art equipment with a 5-year warranty, training, and much more. I want to get into the ScanC. This is our number one product. This is a product that Dr. Loeb purchased that he talked highly about. This system does have the lowest radiation exposure on the market. A lot of doctors we deal with are very concerned. They're concerned that their husband or wife is going into surgery all day and being exposed to radiation, whether for whatever reason. They want to have a family. They just the causes of radiation exposure over a long period of time and the effects. ScanC has the lowest radiation exposure on the market, 0.03 versus our closest competitors are around 16%. So we call it almost virtual zero leakage. Big selling point with the system. The image quality is amazing. This is a fully digital system. As Dr. Loeb mentioned, the images come out great. I had an opportunity to do an install last week in Virginia, and I sat in on 16 cases, and it was a new install, 3 different techs, doctor, and I was super impressed seeing this thing live and seeing the image quality of the system, and so were they. It's an award-winning digital system. They have many awards for this product. Again, we talked about expert logistics, installation, applications training. Everything is with our own company trucks, as I mentioned earlier. The 5-year warranty is unbeatable. Every other manufacturer in the industry does a 1-year warranty. We bring in a system with a 5-year warranty. As Dr. Loeb mentioned, he was paying $950 a month for a 20-year-old system, very bad image quality, not very efficient when it comes to radiation exposure as far as leakage. He was able to get a system after we gave him trade-in value and really paid the same price on a lease for a brand new system, state-of-the-art technology. We have great financing options, 0 down, no payments for 3 months, could even go no payments for 6 months, dollar buyout. They do give you the option to pay it off early if you like. Typically, if you go on a longer term, as long as you make 24 full payments, you can pay it off principal only, no prepayment penalty. A lot of finance companies, once you get locked into the rate, you have to pay that payment for the course of the loan. This company is much different. This is a dollar buyout. You can write it off on IRS Rule 179. Typically, that equates to about 30 to 35% of the purchase price back in your bottom line at the end of the year. So if you take a system, I'm just going to use a round number to make it easy. If you buy $100,000 worth of equipment, let's just say you get into the lease in July and you get a no payments for 6 months. Before you even make one payment, you're going to get about $30,000 to $35,000 back in your bottom line at the end of the year before making a payment. It's very powerful tax incentive for capital equipment, and as long as it's a dollar buyout like our leases are, you can do it. If you get into a fair market value, the write-offs are a little different. You don't own it, and you have to pay 20 to 25% of the purchase price at the end of the loan to buy it out. So I feel we have one of the best leasing programs on partnerships and leasing out there. The system itself, 2.5 million image storage. We call that lifetime image storage. It's almost like your own mini PAC system. We do have remote diagnostics, so we can dial into the system remotely. We can do troubleshooting. We can do software updates. We can do applications training. If you bring in a new rad tech that has any questions, we could sit in on live cases. But the powerful part of this is if there ever is a problem, we can pinpoint it to the board what's wrong, overnight a board. Engineer shows up the next day, and it's basically plug and play at that point. It does have DICOM. You can send images to your PACs. If you don't have a PAC solution, we do offer a free PAC solution with the purchase of every system. And you can use that PACs for all your modalities. If you have X-ray, ultrasound, C-arms, MRI, CT, we provide a very nice PAC solution at no cost, and it does come with the purchase of the system. We also sell OEC systems, and we do this out of kind of a necessity. OEC is a good system. They're a good company. They currently own 66% of the market share. They own the hospital market. A lot of doctors in the hospital space, they grew up knowing OEC. They don't know anything different. So when they get into their own practice, they immediately think OEC because, they may not know the ScanC. They may not know a ScanRay, who they are. So they call up and say, hey, I'm looking for a 98, 9900. And we start the conversation, say, great. What are you using the system for? What are the modalities? What type of procedures? And we kind of dive in and we try to find out what they're trying to accomplish. In a hospital market, the bottom line doesn't typically matter to a doctor. They're not taking the money out of their own pocket. When they get into their own private practice and they're using their own money to pay the bills, the bottom line becomes very, very important. So when we start the conversation of OEC 98, I have a full showroom of 98s, 99s, ScanCs, and we do a virtual demonstration, and I do them almost on a daily basis. And we show them, okay, here's the 9800, 15-year-old system, old technology, analog system, 200 to 400 image storage, 25 degrees of over rotation versus 40 degrees of over rotation on the ScanC, on and on. Remote diagnostics, you can't do that on the OEC systems. No USB ports on the ScanC, CD burning. So there's a lot of advantages going to the ScanC versus 9800, but we do sell them both out of necessity. End of the presentation, people typically say, there's no question, I want to go with the ScanC. And a lot of people, they don't focus in, there's a lot of doctors that will focus in on upfront costs. Okay, what does this system cost to get in the door? They don't look at the 5-year cost of ownership. And, that's something I focus on because, you need to have a warranty on a C-arm. As Dr. Loeb mentioned, he had a 20-year-old system. He was paying $950 a month. So you look at the 5-year cost of ownership. The 9800 is going to be less, but it's a 15-year-old system, not as efficient on radiation exposure. You put in the 4 years of warranty, you're going to be much more expensive on a 9800 that's already 15 years old than what you can get a brand new system for. I sell these to dealers that only know OECs, and that's what they specialize in, so that's the necessity. I do buy these direct from Salt Lake City, Utah. I do buy them in bulk. I'm one of their biggest purchasers of their aftermarket 98s and 99s. I do buy everything that they have in bulk. So it's available. I think you'll find at the end of the day, the ScanC makes more sense, but we do have these available. I have a very thorough refurbish process. Just quickly, the way I do buy these from OEC is I buy them with the OEC flat screen monitors, the Revision 30 software, and then we bring these back to our facility, strip them down to the frame, go through every component, rebuild them, repaint them, and we put a 1-year warranty on them, applications training, and we hand deliver them to the customer. So we do have a good option if you really want the OECs. I want to quickly talk about Oakworks imaging tables. I feel they're one of the best table manufacturers out there. They have a great price point, and they have a very high-quality table. These are manufactured in Pennsylvania. We are one of their biggest distributors for the product. And again, we are the only company that buy these tables in bulk and have them ready to ship. And I'm going to continue to do that, especially with the raw material shortage and steel. I'm going to have high quantities of these tables. And when customers need them, instead of waiting 4, 5, 6 weeks for the table, which always creates delays. When you deliver a CRM and you don't have a table, well, it's hard to do applications training, and it's definitely impossible to do patients. So it's important to have it all at the same timeline, logistically, to deliver everything at the same time. So I think the 3 main tables that we deal with is the DTPM 300, and this is this 2-pedestal table at the left. Now, in my opinion, this is a price point table. This is a low-cost solution. A lot of doctors don't necessarily like the 2 pedestals, and they don't like this base that goes underneath. I don't like the base that goes underneath, especially if you're a smaller doctor. You run into some limitations when you're raising and lowering the C-arm. This is definitely a consideration. This table does go up and down. It does go Trendelenburg and reverse Trendelenburg, and it does do longitudinal travel. Now, the up and down and Trendelenburg are automatic. The longitudinal travel is manual, so you have to kind of you have to unlock it, and then you slide the table longitudinal travel back and forth. Again, it's a price point table. I do sell a lot of them because sometimes cost is important, but I highly recommend getting a diving board table, either a CFPM 300 or a CFPM 400. There's so many advantages to it. The DTPM 300 is a 450-pound patient capacity, which is typically more than enough. The CFPM series are 500-pound patient capacity. But again, there's no base underneath. There's no second pedestal. It's a diving board table, and these are great tables. I stock the integrated headrest. I just find that that's the most popular table, that you have the face cutout where you can put the patient's face. They do come in a rectangular top, as you see in the top left. CFPM 300 is up and down, Trendelenburg in reverse, and lateral tilt, like the plane movement. That is my very most popular table. CFPM 400 gives you all 4 movements: up and down, Trendelenburg reverse, lateral tilt, and longitudinal travel. Again, all these 3 tables are always in stock, ready to ship. They also come with great accessories. They have spinal positioning systems, arm boards, floral extenders. So there's a lot of nice accessories that come with this table or optional. You can always visit our website. The best thing I recommend is going to oakworksmedical.com. It's a very interactive, intuitive website, and it will tell you everything about every table that they sell. It's oakworksmedical.com, and it's you can pull up brochures, description, pictures. So I highly recommend you go into that site. Again, I do have the best pricing and cost structure on these tables. At this point, we want to talk a little bit about the SmartC. Gabriella, can you give everyone an overview on the product?
Yes, thanks, Dave. I would love to give an overview on the SmartC. So going back to the conference, we were able to have this set up at our booth on the table. Doctors were walking by, had a chance to play with the system. They were taking some extremity pictures, able to pick it up, play with it. And Joe, I know your wife actually had a chance to come over, and we did do a cervical image on her. We were able to email that to you right from the tablet, and you got it on your phone right then and there. Did you want to share a little bit about your experience with the SmartC at the conference?
Yeah, that actually did happen, and there was quite a few epiphanies at the meeting. We saw Dr. Scuderi go by, and he was really impressed with the system. And the thing that's kind of impressive is the image quality and the ease of use. You literally can put whatever extremity you want into the device, and the device is mobile. You can pick it up, you can put it around your knee. In this case, we put it around Suzanne's neck, and she was having issues with her neck, and we sent it to her doctor, and she's now doing physical therapy. She's got foraminal stenosis, which they found out later. But in many cases, really one of the more remarkable experiences was our assistant, Helen, who actually had neck issues, and she wasn't allowed to have an MRI because she didn't fail conservative therapy, and they found she had a cyst on her spinal cord. So that machine was able to pick that up very easily, very quickly, and I think it's going to help doctors have access to technology that isn't normally available in an office-based practice, which, diagnosing kind of complicated clinical areas like the neck or in the joints, extremities. There's many contributions to why they fail and why they hurt. And so I think this is an excellent tool for the people that are looking at new and emerging therapies to use in their practice. So that's what I would say about the SmartC. I think it's a pretty great device, and its time is perfect for people that are trying to do new things.
Thank you so much, Joe. So just to touch a little bit more on it, this system is super lightweight. It's a full capacity mini C-arm. It has, some of the best image quality I've seen, especially on a mini C-arm. I would compare it to our ScanC image quality. Again, it's 100% portable. You can take this from office to office. We do offer a Pelican case, which is perfect for traveling. You can take it, if you are even flying with it. We actually have some of these on the sidelines in the NFL right now. So you could literally take this into the woods with you and take images. It does live images. And it does run off batteries. So the system does come with 2 batteries and a charging station as well. So you can swap the batteries. So this system's never going to die. Same thing as well with the tablet. That comes with a docking station for that. And it also comes with, we have a few different cart options depending on, how your practice is set up. If you're constantly, going office to office with it or moving around with it, you don't even really need the cart. If this is stationary in your office, like I said, we have a few different cart options for that, a positioning cart. And it comes with the wireless foot switch, so you can move that anywhere in the room. In this system, you do need to wear lead vests with it, but you don't need lead shielding in the room. So that's a nice feature as well. And we've been getting nothing but amazing feedback from the SmartC, from this doctor. Almost everybody at that conference wanted one.
Right, absolutely. And thanks, Gabby. That was a great overview. And the key point to this system is portability. Okay, so a lot of hospitals are using this in ORs and bringing it from room to room. It's just such an easy way. Literally, if we always kind of joke that this is, if you're in Alaska flying around on a plane, or, Gabriella mentioned in the woods, you can literally take this system anywhere. And if you do have a portable application, if you're going into homes or you're going from office to office, there's literally no better system in regards to portability than the SmartC. So great product. We had a lot of great feedback from the conference. We're going to talk a little bit about ultrasounds. Konica Minolta is a great company. They've been a great partner to Image Pros. We are leading the way in pain management and regenerative medicine. So we want to talk a little bit about the Konica Minolta ultrasound systems. Konica Minolta is a great company. They've been a great partner to Image Pros. Gabriella is going to tell you a little bit about the 2 products. Gabby?
So Konica Minolta ultrasound systems, we have the MX1 and the HS2. And I want to say Konica Minolta is a great company to work with on these systems. They do support us 100% with live demos, virtual demos, training on the systems. Both of these systems are 100% customizable to fit your exact needs for the system. There is remote support. These are portable. They both come with cart options. It's not necessary to purchase with them, but that is an option. And the SNV, which is simple needle visualization. This is a huge selling point because this is trademarked with Konica Minolta. So when you're doing injections, you want to be able to know where that needle is exactly. And what the SNV does, it will actually light the needle up blue so the doctor can see exactly where it's at, which is awesome. And it comes with the 5-year warranty, kind of comparable to the ScanC. And the feedback on these is amazing.
Thanks, Gabby. That was a great overview. Great product, great image quality. The warranty, as Gabby said, 5-year warranty, does cover everything. The probes, everything is included in that warranty. Just a great company to work with. I highly recommend it. If you guys ever do want to do a virtual demo on this system, we can do it for you. Just reach out to us. We do have great patient monitors from ScanRay. A couple different options, kind of a lower end, higher end for maybe the hospital market. But these are readily available in stock, ready to ship. The shielding plan, I just want to spend a little bit of time on this. As I mentioned earlier in the presentation, Image Pros specializes in turnkey solutions to the doctors. We don't just sell the product and say, okay, guys, figure everything else out. Figure out logistics, figure out training, how to get it, how to have state registration. We really pride ourselves in helping doctors from start to finish. So what we do as part of our service, we do your shielding plan for you at no charge, and every state is different. So some states require it, some states don't. And the only way to determine if you need lead is by doing a shielding plan. And really what a shielding plan consists of is a room drawing, what's on each side of the wall. Is there an office? Is there an exam room? What's above? What's below? The dimensions of the room, how many procedures per week, how much fluoral time per patient. And the physicists will do their calculations and do the shielding plan and register that with the state. And that will say, okay, you have to lead this wall, you have to do this, lead this wall. These walls don't have to be leaded because they're on exterior walls. Maybe you need just an extra sheet of drywall. So we do that as part of our service. We do register it with the state. We fill out your 2579 form. We leave you a copy, register them with the state. If you do go to a refurbished system that leaves our facility, everything is fully tested. We bring in a third-party physicist group that comes with a report that will be 2-year state guidelines. We help with full room layouts, drawings for your construction, electrical companies to ensure proper setup. So we'll give you everything to think about. Maybe it's as simple as putting a recessed plug in the middle of the room on the floor for your table so it doesn't create a trip hazard. Getting a dedicated outlet for your C-arm so nothing else is drawing power off that outlet. We recommend a 110 volt, 20 amp dedicated outlet. So we help you guys with all of that. We'll work with your architects. We'll work with your electrical, your construction companies. So we'll help you with that entire process. Gabriella is just going to quickly tell you about some of the lead products that we have available. Gabriella?
So we offer a variety of lead equipment. So we have the lead aprons, multiple different styles and options and colors and sizes in those. We have the thyroid collars, the lead curtains. We also have lead drapes for tables, glasses, caps, gloves. And then as you can see on the side there, we have crash carts and defibrillators. So we want to provide you with a full turnkey solution. So we are your imaging equipment source. We don't stop at just the equipment, the C-arms, the ultrasounds. We want to provide you everything that you need to set up your practice. So we have it all for you here.
Great. Thanks, Gabriella. And then I want to thank you guys again, Joe, for inviting us to this webinar. If anybody wants to reach out to us at Image Pros, you can visit our website at www.imagepros.com. You can email me directly at dorlando@imagepros.com. Just keep in mind there's no E. It's imagepros.com with no E. Our office number is 248-951-9020. And I'm happy to give out my cell phone. I communicate with a lot of doctors via text message, but again, you can call me 586-883-3776. 1031. I do work evenings, nights. Don't hesitate if you want to send me a text, even on a weekend or at night. I'm typically available or typically in the office. So again, we look forward to working with you, and thank you, Boston BioLife. We really appreciate you inviting us to your webinar today. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Dave, Gabriella, and Dr. Loeb, thank you so much for that very insightful presentation. Dr. Loeb's testimonial was really outstanding in that it really described, in my opinion, having been involved in minimally invasive imaging for the last 27 years, really addressing all the concerns that any sole practitioner, individual practitioner has when buying an expensive piece of equipment, not the least of which is obsolescence. And we know that technology, like in cameras and televisions and imaging systems, has moved in quantum waves over the years. So having access to new digitizers and new methods of delivering radiation and processing the images and making those systems work a certain way is really very important to people that are not familiar with radiology and now have access to these tools to help them in their everyday clinical practice. So thank you very much for taking the time to teach us about your products in Image Pros. I think you have a fantastic company, and I think you're ideally suited to help the next generation of healthcare providers that will clearly need imaging to provide more specific and targeted approaches using regenerative medicine and functional medicine therapies. So Dave, thanks so much for joining us at Boston BioLife. We look forward to seeing you in San Diego, where all your products will be there and people can see them firsthand. So Dave, thank you again. Boston BioLife is pleased to announce our next live event, which is titled The Biochemistry of Translational Medicine, the Role of Functional Medicine and Regenerative Medicine in Personalized Precision Health. This is an extension of the series that we've had out for the last 5 years now, and where we look at individual care plan pathway development, as well as the latest scientific innovation in health and wellness to help healthcare providers in a litany of different resources pertaining to personalized precision health. These include things like testing, genetics, genomics, proteomics, as well as vascular health and other areas. This program will be an exciting opportunity to gain one-on-one experience in a variety of hands-on settings as well. And this course will offer an opportunity to choose 3 different sessions out of 9 potential on both Saturday and Sunday, and will provide, as always, a series of compelling lectures from the world of regenerative medicine, functional medicine, and clinical applications in health and wellness. Early bird pricing is available now, so we look forward to seeing you at our next live event, San Diego, September 24th, 25th, and 26th at the beautiful Coronado Hotel and Resort in San Diego, California. Thank you very much for attending another Boston BioLife webinar. My name is Joseph Krieger. I'm the president of Boston BioLife. On behalf of myself and our media director, Michael Cameron, we look forward to seeing you online or at our next live event.